Good morning. My name is Kieron Seamons. That's what I look like. I'm going to do a drawing for you today on this lovely piece of white paper. And I'm going to talk a little bit about how I draw, why I draw, blah blah blah, all that stuff as well. So hopefully you've come to the right channel. And I'm going to start off with warming up the ink. Warming it up, usually spinning it around, so thinking of what I'm going to do. So that'll be a nice start. Let's get some lovely. I like sometimes just to kind of build up a kind of a corner feeling. Sometimes it just kind of breaks it away from being a white piece of paper. Sometimes that white bit of paper can be a little bit scary. And as usually, I always am very fussy about which pen. I don't know, kind of, maybe it's that kind of superstitious Irishman, maybe. Sometimes I start off with a pen and then, I don't know, it just kind of doesn't do the line that I thought it was going to do, and then I get angry with it, and don't worry, a little bit nutty, but it's an obvious bit of madness from my side. Nothing wrong with a pen, probably. Pen is just a simple dip pen. Standard piece of wood holding a piece of metal. Nothing too amazingly stunning about it. I go through lots of different nibs. I've got this habit at the moment of going onto eBay and seeing somebody who's selling a whole batch of like 60 nibs or something, and then I think, oh, that'd be great. I'll go and try that out. And then what I do is I go and find, just change that nib again. A purple pen, that must be lucky, right? Woo! There you go, lucky. And then I try these pens, and I try all these different nibs, and sometimes you can spend like £10 or something, and then you get loads of odd nibs to try. And sometimes you're surprised. Sometimes you find something that's really quite amazing. And on one of these adventures I found a brand called Geo Hughes. They seem to be quite an old box. Do I have an old box somewhere? And I don't know, they just kind of seem to work for me at that moment in time. And I kind of stuck with them. I'm going to attempt an elephant. I don't know if you can see that already or not. I'm going to attempt some kind of elephant. So I don't really get too kind of technical with my equipment. Indian ink I sometimes use Talon's ink, sometimes I use Winsor Newton. Mostly it depends on what kind of mood I am when I'm in the shop. If I'm in a cheap mood, or not a cheap mood, but if I don't want to spend a crazy amount of money on a litre of Winsor Newton, which can kind of gets very expensive these days, then I'll go for something like Talent, which I'm using at the moment. If anybody at Winsor Newton wants to send me a whole big 20 litres of of Indian ink, well, I'm pushing the boat out there, aren't I? And I would love that. As you can see, I go through tons of ink. I absolutely love it. There's no greater liquid on earth than having some ink. I bought some lovely, well, what I didn't buy, saying that, it was a gift. These were beautiful. They are Bombay inks. They're absolutely gorgeous. These are some fabulous colours of reds. That was a gift from a lovely friend of mine. They're Indian ink, but they're in like reds and oranges and stuff like that. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So shout out for Bombay inks. If you haven't tried them, definitely, highly recommend it. They've got a lovely the brightness and the liveliness from this, just absolutely beautiful. So I do kind of vary my inks a lot. I also am quite bad going into an art shop. I will kind of like walk out with bags of charcoal and too much paper. I've got paper everywhere in this house, absolutely everywhere. And again, paper is a kind of a small addiction. I love cartridge paper, watercolor paper, handmade paper. So if you make paper or anything like that, send me some. At the moment I'm living in the south of England, hiding away down there, and at the moment the sun is just beginning to come out. It seems to have been the longest winter ever. I don't know, this year's winter was like 5 years long. Definitely did not enjoy this winter. My boiler blew up. I had to change my windows. It was just like everything that went wrong this year. Mind you, seems to have been a really dreadful year for almost everybody this year. It's like, tell me all about your year in the comments. Go on, tell me what you've been up to. So I spend most of my time on my own. Just me and a jar of ink and some paper. I live here on my own, and it's quite a lovely life. I mean, what's not to like about being an artist? So yeah, and I illustrate books and do some commissions for people. I'm doing a few at the moment. I'm always interested to hear a new project, so if you've got interesting projects that you want to work on. In fact, I just missed. I was too busy at the time, and then I kind of missed it, but I was going to be doing a poetry book, and that kind of was kind of interesting about coming up with some weird and wacky drawings for poetry. That would have been interesting. It would have been something very different for what I'm used to. I used to work in animation for many years. That was basically where all my passion for art and came from. I worked on so many different projects. It's ridiculous to think about. Horrid Henry and the Cramp Twins and the Moomins and Lilo and Stitch and Roger Rabbit and tons of stuff. If you like any of that, leave me a comment. And I had my own studio for over 10 years, and it was fabulous. Loved it. And now I kind of like to work on illustrations. I'm quite excited by the future. I'm quite excited about illustrating individual projects for people. That is extremely exciting. I love doing that. Here's my wonky elephant. So, if you do have a project that you're interested in talking to me about, send me a message, and we can sort something out. Let's try and get some kind of bit of brush and make a nice tail for this young man. Or lady, could be a lady. For all you people out there that are gonna give me trouble for it, could very well be a young lady. Yeah. That little tail. That's cool. I used to go to the zoo a lot. I used to love going to the zoo and drawing the animals. And I've got thousands of books in my house. Far too many books in my house. But, you know, books are what makes the world go around. You can never really have too many books. I guess not, anyway. Alright, so there we are. You can see, it'd be nice if you had some kind of tassels or something there, wouldn't it? And I give it like an Indian rug. Something like that. I've illustrated a lot of books, and I would like to keep doing that until I pop my clogs. I hope I'll be illustrating forever. Let's give him a nice big chunky foot. Watch these big, clumpy, chunky toes, as elephants do. What have we got there? We're going to do that. So we're bringing his other leg over here. Lovely. How's that looking? Give me some comments of what you want me to draw, or what you want me to if there's anything you want me to explain. I can't really see anything that's worth explaining. A lot of these ideas just kind of, I work mostly from kind of shapes. I kind of think mostly about a shape of something, and then if I really feel like it's complex, sometimes I'll put a little mark in there, a little bit of a blue line in there, or a slight kind of guidance, but it'll be a very, very, very light indication of the shape. I try not to get to the point where I'm kind of drawing it out, because I find a lot of the fun from drawing it is lost. So sometimes you just have an idea of what you're going to do, and then when you're drawing it, it kind of appears in front of you. You know, it's quite a beautiful thing, the way that sometimes these, it's just the way these images and drawings just kind of appear sometimes. It's much more exciting. I can't bear the fact of knowing what is going to be there when I've drawn it. You know, I've worked in a very, very controlled environment. I worked at Disney's for years, where you know you're so careful about every drawing and every line that you draw, and so by doing it this way, it kind of gives me a bit of freedom, and it keeps it very exciting. It keeps it fresh in your mind. It's, you know, as you're drawing it, you start to think, wow, maybe I could. Like there, I was just looking up and I was thinking, well, it would be nice if he had some kind of collar or something, you know. Like he seems to be some. And I was just thinking about this ugly thing on my finger. Is just when I wipe off little blobs of. You see what I'm doing there? It's just I get a little blob of paper and it makes the line ugly, so I just kind of wipe it off. So it's just me being extremely messy. Yes, I could use some tissue paper or something like that. What I've found is then if you're using tissue paper, you get a blob of the tissue paper on top then. So yeah, it's quite cool. Quite like that. So you get that thick, chunky line. I don't know if you can see it there. Can you see the blob on the end of my... Yeah, that's when it pulls bits of the paper off. And then it basically gives you a very thick, ugly line. And then if you do it without, you get this nice, thin, stringy line. So, this is my elephant today. I don't know. It kind of seems to look funnier when I look at it in the camera. Yeah, Maybe I just kind of have a little bit of a little shade in, a little bit around that rug. Make that lovely sunshine design stand out a little bit more. It's very quiet where I live. I have a window in front of me here, and the only thing I see out there is squirrels. Though there's something bigger that comes at night. I see foxes at night, but I think there might be a badger out there as well. He seems to dig underneath the fence and make a rather large hole. I'm not sure if badgers come down this way, but it definitely gives me the feeling of something bigger than a squirrel. There we are. I was trying to get that just to highlight the lovely sun effect coming on the top of that rug. And I think I think that's lovely. I think that's funny. It's just sticking up under around there. Yeah, okay, I like that. So let's put the name on there somewhere. And, let's put a nice big red. What are we going to do? Ruby. Nice big ruby red. So my name's Kieron Seamons, and I would love to hear more from you. Come and follow me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. There's loads of places that you'll see my drawings and stuff. Give me a little bit of love. Give me some sugar. Give me some comments. I'd love to know. I'd love to know what you think. And I'd love to know what you think of this one. I don't know, what is he? Let's call him Horace. Horace the elephant. What do you think of Horace the elephant? I would absolutely love to hear from you. Give me some comments and tell me what you think. This is just me sitting at home doing some drawing, enjoying life and entertaining you, hopefully. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day.